Hey there, Forensic Frog. I am a Rifter Darkly on Reddit, ENCube on DeviantArt, and Vin7 here on YouTube. And I want to talk to you about your painting of Walter White, the painting we call Walter. There we go. Alright, so first of all, I'm not American or posh English. I am from Sweden, and sometimes I mess up the words, which is why I record videos instead of giving long written critiques, because I can at least show you what I'm doing. Alright, so Mr. Walter, here I desaturated your image, which was slightly purple, and then I took the reference image and lined it up with the painting. What else did I do? I desaturated that one as well. If you want, and if you're working in Photoshop, you can make a new layer like that, fill it with the black, and then go to that's not it at all. You go to color right here, boom, and that does the same. It will turn the image black and white for you if you don't want to desaturate the original. Alright, so I like what you got going here. It's by no means finished. I'm also having a cigarette while I'm doing this. Probably shouldn't. But sometimes there are awkward pauses because I smoke. Anyway, well, actually, first of all, I want to show you that I do these types of studies as well. Well, these are old, by the way, but yeah, I think it's a good way. I think it's a good way to learn. But also note that it says eyes, lips, hair, read notes, quitting is failure. What I kind of wanted to talk to you about first of all is the background. Now, the background is important because colors and values are dependent on what colors and values are next to them. Does it make sense? Like, you need a context for a color or value. So right now in the original is very dark. The background is very dark, and here it's very light. So in order to get a contrast between, let's get a new layer going. So when we want to make a contrast here, you go from dark to light instead of light to dark. And already we're off to a bad start. It is important to get the correct values of the background so that you have something, so that you get the correct context. And what you can do, instead of looking at each little black, okay, there's got to be a black dot there and one there and one there, you start to go over that. That's pretty pointless. So use the navigator, or you can do a window like this. I think no. Oh yeah, new window for untitled. Boom. So there's a copy of that window. Now I can make that a lot smaller, or I can even do something like this. And when I work on this big one, I can look at the smaller one. It's like a navigator, only, slightly bigger. It's not a bad alternative. Anyway, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use just the navigator. So let's look at what we got here, and I'm only going to look at the navigator. So first of all, the original is a lot darker. So I'm just going to pick something like this and see where that gets me. I'm going to start filling it in. Nothing is actually happening. There we go. Alright, let's see if this one does the trick. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Maybe something like that. Alright, let's pretend that that's the correct value. And we can continue looking at that sheen, that glint of light on his head over here. Doesn't really correlate with the glint in the original. So let's simply remove that. And I can also tell that it's a bit darker. This is a very light head, or a light area. I'm not gonna actually paint all of this for you, because that's not the point. But I just want to show you what the right context can do for an image. And it's nothing wrong with putting out some guides. I don't know if you have guides, but when you do, you can see, you start seeing the negative spaces, like this space right here. Does it match this space? For example, this angle right here, is it the same angle as this? Which it isn't, by the way. And you start to see the values a bit clearer, I think. I hope so. I hope you do. And I could keep going just painting this for you, but I'm not gonna. Although it is so tempting because I don't have to do all the work. But when we look at, for example, the beard over here, you can see that this is very tiny. I don't even know if you can see it, but you will have to trust me. You can see that it's a lot lighter because the sun or the light is hitting from our right side. So you have a lot of highlights in the hair, which means that there's got to be highlights in his hair, the painting as well. So we start comparing these two, and we start to see that, yeah. And it's a lot easier than, alright, so your image is huge, dude. You got this huge image. So when you back off from it and start to look at the bigger picture, you'll start noticing the errors a lot faster. And also, just relax a little bit. Don't be in such a hurry. When I started, I was very fast. I did things very fast without really thinking about it. But nowadays, if I wanted to, for example, light up this nose right here, I go like this. And then I'll look. I'll examine it. Yeah, possibly. Give it a couple more swipes like that. Yeah, possibly. Give it a swipe or two like that. Yeah, sure. So, you see that it's not about being fast. It's about being smart. Like, be economical. I don't know. But don't rush it. Just look at things and think about them. Think about what you're doing before you do it. And that also goes for let's see, like this type of stuff. You see that this is a very harsh shadow. So one fell swoop and we start to see that, all right, that's a bit better. And there's also to consider that when you do blending, when you blend colors, like I don't know your method, but I do know that it's a bit harsh. And you are using a default round, which is cool. I do that too. No worries. I lowered the opacity to about 20, maybe even 21. Actually, I haven't done this in a while because I use other brushes now. Get that crap away. You want to look at, for example, this. You can see that it's a very soft blend. Soft blend, yeah, sure. Like it's not harsh. Sure, at the very, very end of this fold of skin, it's very dark. But as you can see, it's not, the fold doesn't go like this. It's more of a, ooh, very nice. See, it's a lot softer. Which means that we have to think about the light being softer on it. What? Did that make sense? I hope so. And that's something to consider when you're doing pretty much anything, like values and stuff like that. This is going to be edited out in the final. All right, we're back. I actually did something a little bit just before I started recording. Something like this. And it's pretty much it's pretty much the same thing. But when you look at the background, you'll start to see that, and especially when you look at it like this, you'll see that this line on his cheek over here, it's a lot brighter than the value that you have. And for example, this jacket is a lot lighter in the original, and so on and so forth. If we want to be really nitpicky, like as you can see, you have used 100% black. For, let's say, well, let's take a look at this eyebrow over here. So you have, this is more or less 100% black, but when we color pick over here, it's quite a bit lighter. Also something to consider. So yeah, I think that you are doing good, Mr. Forensic Frog. You can either consider this painting to be finished and start on another one, which I know that most people in our digital painting do. They come to us with finished pieces. But I would recommend that you sit down with this and focus and fix the mistakes. Because rushing off to another project will mean that you haven't learned that much. So, you know, and that's fine. That's not a failure. Like this one is, I think this is what, like, let's see, possibly 2 weeks in, and I had a teacher who kept harassing me about it. Actually, I paid him to harass me about it, so that's fine. But, you know, don't give up. Don't move on. Keep going. This, for example, Mr. Ray Stevenson from the TV series Rome. I never even finished this, I think. But you keep going. Don't just go, all right, this is a failure, because it's not. This is a first step to success. All right? So I've been talking now for 18 and a half minutes, which is way too long. But just consider that and keep going. Like, that's the best advice I can give you. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop with this painting just because I'm showing you the mistakes that you made. Showing you the mistakes and making mistakes is absolutely fine. No one is expecting you to know everything at once, and when you learn from your mistakes, well, actually, learning from your mistakes is a very good thing. All right? So don't give up. Take my advice into consideration. Keep pushing. If you want, you can submit the updated version again. I would really like to see it and see your progress. Yeah. All right. Ending this, and of course, if you like this video, you should hit the like button and register for Google Plus and whatever else happens. I don't know. I don't make any money off of this, so a like would be really appreciated. All right, see you, dude.